What's up, fam? Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there. Tonight we are taking a look at a very, very nice knife. Not quite perfect. We'll talk about all that stuff, but this is one that is a lot of bang for the buck. So we're taking a look at another Tuya knife. So we've had quite a few of these on the channel. This is a first for this one, though. This is the Tuya Wolf titanium micarta. Now they have changed their boxing. You know, they used to have the plastic cases, so now they are coming in an actual box. So we're going to do a little bit of a unboxing here for you guys. So it has all of their information here on the knives themselves. Now this does come by way of Mr. Dave Warren. He is the U.S. representative for Tuya Knives. So there's all his information. But his website, my affiliate link for his website will be linked down below. You know, you definitely, unfortunately, I don't have any sort of code or anything like that. I don't believe. He does a whole lot of discount codes anyway. But, you know, of course, if you guys know of one, that's fine. But like I said, my affiliate link will be down below. But the knives do come with a leather pouch here. So just like a protective pouch. So you don't have to, like some folks that store their knives in the boxes and everything. So if you don't care about keeping the box, you don't have to keep the box. You can store the knife in a nice pouch. That's pretty cool. I do like that better than the zippered pouches. I think that's definitely a cleaner look. I haven't gotten this one out of the pack yet, but I have seen these pouches before, and they are pretty daggum nice. So go ahead and get this box out of the way and get to the knife here. I'm sure that's what you guys are all here for. That's what I'm here for. And there it is. So this, again, this is the latest version, or one of the latest variants of the Wolf. Now this is one that really got me excited. I apologize, I thought I wiped all these knives down before I started making videos tonight, and apparently I missed this one. But their latest versions of these are all using the G.L. Hansen & Sons G-Carta. So you'll notice it is a, and we'll see it when we zoom in, but it is a multi-layered micarta. So this one doesn't have enough milling on it to show the different colors, but this one does have the teal with the gray undertone. M390 satin blade here, gorgeous satin, which Tuya is known for. You're looking at a just over a 3.5 inch total blade length, just over a 3.25 inch cutting edge, because you do have a bit of a choil there, and just over 8.25 overall, and 4.3 ounces. Now those are all approximate because the specs are not listed on the website. So I did have to, I just kind of did a crude measurement on those. But again, that is some approximates. Now here's what's killer about this knife. The price tag. So the standard paper micarta version, it's a brown paper micarta. That version is $169. The ones with the G-Carta, there's several different colors. Basically what you have to do is there's a drop down and you select what option you want. When you select the option, it'll change the picture, the primary picture, to that color option. So you can select which color you want, but they have the teal here, which it is teal. It looks more blue on my camera, or at least from what I can see on my screen here, it looks more blue. But it is a little bit of a greener teal, so it's definitely teal. But is that that vibrant greenish blue teal. But anyway, they have teal, they have gray, brown. That's like got the black underneath it, and they did with the contouring, you can see the black underneath it, or the darker brown underneath it. Like I said, they have red, gray, brown, and then I think they have a black, and then maybe one other color. I'll try to flash pictures up of all of the different variations and colors up here so you can see those. But again, a really, really sweet knife. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump right into the close-ups of this thing so we can get more into talking about this knife. And we're actually going to take this knife apart because I want to try to put skiffs in it. I want to see if I have the right size skiffs. And because if any of these newer knives I've been getting deserve skiffs, this is definitely one of them. So go ahead and zoom in here and take a look at this thing. So again, beautiful, beautiful G-Carta, which, you know, what G-Carta is just multi-layered micarta. So there you can see the gray underneath on the teal. So we'll go ahead and talk about the first things here. It is contoured, beautifully contoured. Screws are very flush. one thing, and I did watch, I believe it was Lefty's video. I'm not 100% on that, but I do believe it was Lefty's video that talked about this. The one thing as far as the ergonomics of the knife go that I wish were just slightly changed were on the edges here. They're square. I wish these were just chamfered just a little bit. That would increase the feel of this knife a lot. It would give you a lot better feel. And even on the back side here, you might even expose a little bit of that gray and give it a little bit of a two-tone look. But as it is, it's not like, that's a nitpick. And, we'll talk about the ergonomics more, but that is definitely 100% a nitpick. The other stuff that I talk about on this knife is also a nitpick. There's really only one other thing about this knife that kind of stood out to me, and we'll see it here in just a moment. But again, beautiful, beautiful job on this micarta. We have a T8 and T6 pocket, or T6 screws. I believe it is T6 and T8. Let me just go ahead and check it here, because I don't think those are T8s. No, yeah, so it is T6 and T8. Full titanium liners with a full-length titanium backspacer. That's kind of, a little bit of where you get that to get to that 4.3 ounce weight. These liners are very, very well milled out, but it is not a thin knife. It is a fairly thick knife. Again, I don't have my calipers, but it is a fairly thick knife, so it is a full-sized blade. Beautiful, beautiful milled pocket clip here. Really great looking pocket clip, and it rides in the pocket like a dream. Of course, it's not deep carry or anything like that, but it definitely goes in and out of the pocket really nicely. You've got plenty of room underneath that clip for jeans and whatnot. It is a double tooled pivot. I'm hoping it's captured. We'll check that here in a little bit. I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try to take this thing apart. But the other side of the micarta there, again, it's just as gorgeous. Perfectly centered. Again, beautiful job on this. Again, titanium everywhere. Perfect lockup. You do have a steel lock bar insert in there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this blade. So again, just an absolute wicked blade. And I still didn't get all my fingerprints off that thing. You've got a recurved Tonto with a harpoon edge, or with a harpoon and a swedge. Beautiful deep hollow grind. Nice and thin behind the edge. Even for, it's not a super thick blade either. So there's your full blade stock thickness there. It is swedged out here. So you do have that really nice flats. Just a gorgeous blade. Sharpening looks to be on point. So always check the heel of the blade. That's where sometimes they'll get messed up. This looks good. We'll check the secondary tip. Grind looks good on that secondary tip too. See that the grind ends right there. Yep, so the grinds are perfect on that tip. Is spot on. Plunge grind is a little on the lazy side, but because you have a finger choil, it's not a big deal. And then being a hollow grind, you got a really nice thin, so your plunge grind ends about right there. So it's definitely not the worst plunge grind I've ever seen. Definitely not the best. It's just kind of right down Main Street there on that one, just kind of right down the middle of the road. But again, it's not going to be any issues because you're going to have plenty of life and sharpening thanks to that that finger choil. So let's go ahead and back out of this. Oh, hold on a second. We'll show that that other nitpick here, and this was something that the video I watched on it did notice as well. So you do have a little nub from the lock bar that sticks up. It is unfortunately not something that you could fix by grinding it down or anything like that, because that is the locking area for the knife. So that is where the liner locks in. So it's not something that catches anything. You can't use it as a flipper or anything like that. It's really not extremely noticeable in anything other than just, like I said, when you look at it, when you run your finger across it, you can feel it, but again, it's not like snagging on anything. But again, that is just a nitpick. I don't know if it's just a slight miss when they were doing the CAD work, or if it's what the deal was with it. but you do have that. And I think again, I think it was Lefty's video where he mentioned that, and it's the same on this knife as well. So it seems like it is something that will be on all the knives. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you think would would be a non-starter for you. Then it may not be the knife for you. But again, honestly, for me, at the price tag and everything, I am not mad at it at all. This is like I said, a fantastic blade. Feels great in the hand for me anyway. It's I know Lefty mentioned that he felt the clip. I can't remember if he said it was bothering or not, but I do remember saying that it did. They could feel the clip. I'm kind of the same way. I can feel the clip, but it's not hateful. I don't get a hot spot from it. I can just feel it. Again, it's a little bit of a thicker knife, but it feels the hand very nicely. I do stand behind the fact that I do think if this was chamfered just slightly around the edges, I think that would very much increase the feel of the knife. Jimping is good. The jimping is definitely there. It's definitely useful. I do find myself skipping it though and just going straight to that harpoon edge and just locking my thumb in that way. So I mean, it's take it or leave it. I guess if you have a smaller hand, you definitely have very functional jimping there to lock into. Or if you can spread out and get to that harpoon, you can certainly do so. Choking up is very comfortable as well. I would kind of caution if you have fatter fingers like me, because you are right on that edge, and that is a very, very sharp edge. So just be careful there, but you can definitely choke up. And as long as you're careful not to get up on that edge, you can certainly do so. And again, very comfortable because it's got some nice cut out there in the scales and everything for your hand. Beautiful, beautiful blade. Again, I just absolutely blown away by the quality that I have seen from all of the Tuya knives that I've handled. I've handled quite a few of them. I only have 2 in my, well, I guess technically now I have more than that in my collection. I do have several other Tuyas that are coming sprinkled in here and there over the next week or so that we'll be talking about. So again, I do have those coming, but everyone that I've ever handled from the past round and whatnot have always been really, really nice. This one again is no exception. I mean, right out of the box, I've not messed with it. It's got a really nice hydraulic shut. It was a little stiff. If you watched my unboxing, it was a little stiff out of the box. With the detent is definitely on the heavier side, but with probably an hour or so playing with the knife, it has the detent's loosened up just enough to where it's really nice and snappy now, and you can easily reverse flick it. Thumb stud knives are always a bit harder for me to reverse flick anyway, but now it's just it's just right. It's right up there with my my Wrath that I have there, where it's just a snappy enough detent. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see if we can crack into this thing and see what its guts look like. All right, guys, I just finished the closing. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick paper cut test on this thing, just because it's something that people like to see. But she sharp. Yeah, don't accidentally touch this blade, because it's going to get you. All right, guys, back to the main video. Since I know we have, well, first let's go ahead and do the checks on the hardware. Beautifully done on the T8 on the pivot. Very well done there as well. The T6s, phenomenal. No wiggle at all on any of these. And the reason why I'm using, just in case you're new to the channel, the reason why I'm using these to check the hardware instead of this, these or from what I've been able to find, and these are Weehaw bits and everything, but I have found that the Wera bits or Vera bits, however you say it, I think it's a Wera, the Wera bits or Wera screwdrivers have the finest tolerances when it comes to their screwdrivers. So I use these to check for tolerance on the screws. It's because these are actually made, I can't remember what the name for them is, but they're actually made to hold on to to the screw. So they're machined with really high tolerances. And like I said, I've just had the best luck with those, checking with them. So we'll go ahead and switch over, start to take this guy apart here. Now first, let me go ahead and actually let me do the pivot first. Let's see if we have a captured pivot. I really hope we do. Let's see. Feels like we do. Just feels like there might be some Loctite in there. Yeah, we got a capture pivot. Okay. I was just making sure. So we've got some Loctite on the screw, which is no problem. I'm just going slow and making sure I'm putting plenty of pressure on the screw and easing that bad boy out. Yep, so there you can see that Loctite. I'm actually going to leave that in there because even that style of Loctite typically will still kind of, for lack of a better word, gum up the threads. So when I'm taking, or when I'm putting the screw back in, it's is a little tight and will actually keep the screw from backing out. I won't have to put any more Loctite on it or anything. It's not reusable Loctite, but it kind of works in that way. So body screws came out without any issue. It doesn't look like they have Loctite on them, which is preferred, honestly. All right, let's get this bad boy apart. Give him a little wedge here. Brand new knives are typically a little difficult to get apart. These little plastic pry bars are worth their weight in gold. All right. Really nice beefy stop pin. There you can see that that milling work on the inside. Really well done there. Really nice job on the milling. Internal tooling for the pocket clip, so really nicely done there. Go ahead and just clean it off here. So we have a washer and our bearing. Let's go ahead and just got just a little bit of oil on it. Very nicely done there. Not over oiled or anything like that. Just a little bit of oil on it. I'm just wiping everything down here. Let's go ahead and get that. Yeah, there you can see the pivot cocaina there. Again, we'll just clean off our washers here. All right, let's see. Let's grab the old cheat sheet. Okay, grab my bearings while I'm over here. Let's see what we got. I have a feeling it's probably a 5 mil. Yep, 5 mil, probably 3/64, if I had to guess. No, 5 mil 1/16. I'm pretty doggone sure that I have some of those. Speaking of, they're right here on top. Perfect. All right, let's throw some skiffs in this thing. So one thing I've noticed with a knife that is done well, skiffs don't make a massive improvement in action. I do think that there is a bit of a placebo effect that comes from these things, but as far as the longevity, so I put these things in knives that are in my forever collection. If it's one that I am keeping forever, that's not going anywhere, it gets skiffed, no questions asked. Every single time. And then any knife that needs a little more adjustment as far as the pivot is concerned, if it needs to be a slightly looser pivot, what these things can do is they'll give you a little more stability on the blade, and they'll actually prevent a little bit of that side-to-side movement when you have a slightly looser pivot. Where'd my stop? Okay, there it is. Let's say, where'd my stop pin go? Well, get in there. So I always like to make sure my stop pin's in here when I put the blade in, because that will prevent the blade from smacking the backspacer. And you can see there, you've got really nice tolerances on that. Really great blade to handle ratio. Great job on this design. I think this is a design from the head honcho at Tuya. I cannot think of his name right now for whatever reason. My brain's drawing a blank. I'm going to put it up here, but I believe this is one of his designs, if I am not mistaken. A really, really great job. This is a very, very, very nicely done knife. Just putting a little bit of oil in there. And then I always get my KPL heavy. And I will just put a dab of heavy right here at the pivot, or excuse me, at the detent. And scrape that down and run that detent track. KPL heavy will tend to stay in place better than most of the other oils. So then you're you don't have to worry about it running out near as much or running away as much. So yeah, no issues there with that. Let's go ahead and get this thing put together. I thought about doing a little bit of tuning on the detent, but the fact that it's already starting to loosen up after just a day of having this knife. So I did carry it all day today. Luckily, my mail ran incredibly early today, so I've had it in the pocket for quite a while today. And then, like I said, I've been playing with it, fidgeting with it quite a bit. So it's definitely one that I am excited about, and the fact that it's already starting to break in that much. I'm not going to tune the detent now. If it stops breaking in and doesn't get any looser from here, I may tune the detent slightly softer, and I'm talking just a little bit softer, but probably won't do much to it, if anything. Let's go ahead and just tighten this pivot. I think this pivot does get cranked down. Whew. Yeah, in this case, it actually is considerably smoother. I think those factory bearings might have had a little bit of a catch to them. So in this case, the higher tolerances, the better tolerances on the skiffs definitely makes an improvement. Again, like I said, that's not always the case. But in this one, we have a considerable improvement. There's still like this weird, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. There it went. And it only does it when you first close the knife. Let's see if y'all can hear it. Right there. It's like this weird click. I have no idea what's doing it. You could notice it a lot more with the standard bearings. You can actually kind of feel it a little bit in the handle. Anyway, it's not anything crazy. I think it actually sounds cool. But I don't know exactly what that is. But like I said, I think we're looking at a pretty vast improvement on this thing with running the skiffs, and definitely one that I'm excited to have again in the collection. And now that she's got her forever bearings, well, not forever, because I mean they will wear out eventually, I'm sure. But these skiffs will last a lot longer than the standard stamped bearings do, or would. Again, price tag on these things, standard's $169, the G-Carta $179. My link will be down below. Make sure you guys go check that out. All of my links are always below. If you guys want to use them, great. If not, if you have another person or whatever that you guys use, but I do have several discount codes down there, and some of them are pretty doggone good, so make sure you check those out. As always, guys, I appreciate each and every one of you. Please remember to be kind, be humble, and be EDC. Y'all take care.